by the land around here. I'm not in Trempealeau County. I am down in Champaign County, Illinois, visiting some in-laws. And Illinois used to be called the Prairie State. It had over 1 million acres of prairie. Well, nowadays there's only about 1,000 acres left. And what we're going to do, hopefully on my trip down here, we are going to take a small trip to see actual remnant prairie. I've often wondered, what did it look like here in Illinois and Wisconsin, before the white settlers came, when it was just the Native Americans? What did the prairie look like? What kind of flowers were there? So right now, of course, this is the land of corn and soybeans, but we are going to go and see if we can take a trip and look at actual remnant Illinois prairie that has never been plowed up or used, modified, see what it actually looks like. All right, folks, we are out in Paxton, Illinois, and we are going to a cemetery that has actual remnant prairie on it. Karen, what's the name of the cemetery? Come on. Prospect Cemetery. And it's just around the corner here. So we're going to see some actual, factual, pure prairie, right?
That's what we've been told. I haven't been here before.
Okay, well, this will be an adventure, so
I can see a tombstone.
We'll turn around here and see what we can find. I take it we're going to have to go up to this gate. We're right on the edge of town here. To our left would be downtown Paxton, city of about 4,000. And on our right we have a big factory of some kind, plastic designs, but we are coming up to the gate, I guess, huh?
Yes.
All right.
Doesn't look like we go in.
No, it doesn't, does it? But if we go down any farther, it's this cornfield, so this has got to be it.
Yep.
All right, we'll move up here a little bit. Well, walking through the grass, see how many snakes we trod on.
Oh, thanks. I need that like a hole in the head.
All right. Well, here's a plaque. And the plaque says, "This entrance is a memorial to the persons buried here and to the prairie remnant, one of the last remaining vestiges of the magnificent tall grass prairie that once covered east central Illinois." And according to what I could find on the internet, it said there are some real rare prairie plants here. But this is supposed to be the actual remnant prairie. Because it was a cemetery, it did not get plowed up. It didn't get manipulated in any way. So I always thought, well, what did it look like when the first white settlers came to the prairie? When they first came to Illinois and they saw this prairie. I had read accounts that there were people that thought, well, there's no trees growing there, so it can't grow crops, so we're going to go back east again. But we're going to take a little walk out here. Another thing, it said that one of the reasons this site was here, this cemetery, there had been a terrible cholera epidemic, and that a doctor had donated this land to bury all the people that died from cholera. All right. Here we go. Well, you'll have to do some identification, Karen. Well, you probably know what this is, right?
What they call snake root?
Is that snake root?
I don't know. Should I take a picture of it? Oh, that looks like showy goldenrod.
Showy goldenrod. It's got a bee on it,
Pollinators
doesn't it?
love
Look
it.
at that. There's something pollinating it.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's a path.
Oh, there's some guara. Right here, the pink. Looks like a bunch of butterflies.
Oh, what's it called? Guara?
Guara.
Guara. It is pretty. You don't see
Yeah.
much else here that's pink.
Not this time of year.
No, And it's a beautiful morning. They had some rain last night, and this is a lovely morning. But look at the wind blowing through all this grass. I think that must have been...
And it feels so good.
Yeah, can you imagine when there were acres and acres of all this prairie grass and forbs just blowing in the wind? It must have been incredible.
Yeah, did you say how many varieties?
Oh, yeah.
What did they say, 90?
I thought that it said on the Google that, yeah, there were up to 90 varieties here. Whoops, she found something else.
Dogbane?
Dogbane.
You know what dogbane is?
Tiny little flowers.
Yeah, it looks like
huh?
a little, 20 years ago, I said, look at that pretty little weed.
It is pretty.
But not anymore.
And this is a different one too, isn't it? Isn't that like,
Boy, feel the leaf.
yeah. It's really, it feels like sandpaper.
Yes.
Yeah, and attaches right to the root. That's interesting. Kind of wraps around it. Well, what is this down here then?
Gee, I don't know, but feel that one. It's the same way as
Yeah,
that. Scratch
it does. It's really like
See,
sandpaper.
we need to have Jacob.
Yeah, we
Okay.
need to have a nature advisor.
Oh, it's just about getting ready to burst into bloom with this showy goldenrod. You know that.
That is pretty. It's real different than our goldenrod too, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's probably 6 different goldenrods around here, but that's one that the pollinators love.
They really like, and it's just about ready to bloom. And I recognize this stuff too.
No, that's Coreopsis.
Yeah, Coreopsis, after the petals have gone off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the seed head.
Wish I could tell you what that rough leaf was.
Well, sometimes if we don't know the right name, we can either make something up or we'll just enjoy it. Here's some more of that. Now this is different though than the other stuff we saw.
It's soft.
It's a little softer and it doesn't have the serrations on the side. So what would that be?
I have no idea, Nancy.
Huh.
The leaves on this showy goldenrod are really kind of soft looking.
They certainly have texture, don't they?
Yeah.
And this one, now I've seen this before. Compass plant, right. It just doesn't have the stalk, right?
Yeah, it's not old enough to be blooming.
This is a plant that always fascinates me, and I bought some seed to plant up by us. Nothing has come up yet, but hopefully it will. But yeah, it eventually gets a long stalk, doesn't it?
Well, there might be some tall ones
Sticking up down there. Yeah?
one of the few things that could keep up with the big blue stem.
You can hear some kind of bug over here making a lot of noise, huh? Like a cicada. Oh, here's my favorite, the rattlesnake master. I always think this stuff is pretty interesting. And I had read somewhere that they had found a pair of sandals that were thousands of years old, and they were actually made from the leaves of rattlesnake master.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That was low to Prairie. They had that on the
I
sign.
think so, yeah. That's amazing.
I'll take a picture of this stuff. That's a small, but it's feel the leaves on that. Wow. I gotta get my.
Oh yeah, those are really rough leaves, aren't they? Huh. Really scrapey. Yeah, the leaves on these plants are so interesting. A lot of them had these edges that are like, you know, serrated, spiky.
Can you kind of hold that plant out? I'm going to take a picture of it and see if...
Well, do you want to go straight ahead or to the left?
Just such a dainty little bloom.
It is. That's why a lot of those things get overlooked unless you're really looking for them.
But those leaves are like, don't touch me.
Yeah. Yeah, leave me alone. Don't mess with me. I am not soft and cuddly. Well, we all know what this is. This is a thistle. But you know, bees love those thistles.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they really get on them. Oh, look at these leaves. They're huge. Holy cow.
That's dock.
That's dock, prairie dock, and that gets a tall
That
spike
gets
too, doesn't it?
I mean, you can look like over there. I think those are docks in front of us.
The ones that are sticking up?
Yeah. We get up there, we can.
Yeah. Here's some more rattlesnake master. These leaves are really tough. I can see how you could weave them into sandals or something if you dried them down.
So the dock has pretty. There's a name for these with this rough leaf.
Yeah.
They're kind of all in the same family.
Same family. So, you know, the thing about these prairies is they really aren't soft, are they? A lot of stuff here is...
So, look that up.
Oh, I bet that's the dock, huh?
Is there a dock leaf down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the dock.
It like it didn't want to stand up.
Well, probably got blown over last night, maybe. You know, with a lot of wind, so... But that's got to be its way of reseeding, you know, right? Spreading its seeds. It comes down to the ground and...
I don't know if they all come down to the ground or not.
Well...
I mean, normally...
Look, it's got a kink in it.
In the spring, the red-winged blackbirds would like to sit on top of there and try and call in a mate. But that one doesn't have a strong enough stem.
No. It's got quite a curve to it. Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of this Canadian goldenrod.
Canadian goldenrod? Yeah. Well, that's like what we've got up north, I'd say.
You know, for pollinators, it's a slightly less desirable species and can kind of really dominate.
And what kind of grass is this?
I'm thinking maybe Indian grass.
Boy, that's got a lot of pollen on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's just a guess. I could be wrong.
Yeah. But imagine if you were out here walking or maybe on horseback or in an ox-pulled wagon or something.
Well, you'd want to be above the itchy leaves.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to have bare legs like you
No, you wouldn't want to be some of those Germans with that tender white flesh, would you?
Nancy.
That must have been terrible.
I have pants on.
I know. I'm doing fine so far. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, here's some more of those. I like it when these leaves, this is the compass plant, when it actually, you know, dries down. Look at the texture on that. Oh, this is the dock. Okay.
Yeah, the compass plant is broken up. You know, it's...
Okay.
I don't know the term.
But look at the texture on that.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? It's really rough. It's like a real strong sandpaper, I guess. That's the best way I can describe it. Oh, here's another dock plant. Beautiful blossoms. Must waving in the wind.
It's gorgeous. It's nice.
Here's some more of that pink guara.
Yeah, right here.
Yep, right there.
I don't know if probably some small solitary bee would like a
Would like to
tiny
get in there. They
blossom.
are tiny, aren't they?
Yeah. Or hey, a hummingbird
Could be.
could.
Would like that. Yeah.
Yeah. At least check it out. There's actually quite a bit of it in here.
So this has, according to the plaque, has never been farmed, never been plowed up. I mean, maybe they ran some cattle through it, but that doesn't really seem to hurt anything. They say if anything, you know, hooved animals going over it is kind of good for it. It kind of, you know, makes holes and little aeration.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, there's quite a bit of this around here, isn't there? Look at it all. This is beautiful. And over here is kind of a little oak savanna, it looks like. So this is what people would have found when they were first coming to the prairies. They would have found all this diversity of forbs and grasses, and then they would see these oak savannas every once in a while.
They like to put their houses in the oak savanna.
Yes,
From what I
yeah.
heard, and
Yeah,
then-
people lived in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that made sense.
A little bit of shade.
I suppose for a lot of people, if you came from a place where there were a lot of trees, and you know that was really most of Europe, it would have been unsettling to just be out here and have any trees in the prospect.
Well, like you said earlier, the first settlers bypassed the prairie because
Yeah.
if they couldn't grow trees, there was something wrong with the soil.
Yeah, they thought this wasn't going to work to grow anything. And right now, what's approximately the price of an acre of farmland around here in Champaign County?
10 to 15.
$10,000 to $15,000 an acre. Yeah, pretty amazing.
The settlers, and we're on that ridge above. This was all kind of wet ground to them. They couldn't hardly see the Indians on their ponies riding through the grass.
Oh, what a cool
You know,
thought.
so-
Yeah, I'm
If-
sure.
Yeah, there were spots where the grass was like an ocean.
Yeah.
You could get lost in.
I suppose in a good year, when you really had enough moisture and everything, maybe it got really, really tall. But it grew fast.
Hey, there's some kind of a little solitary bee right there.
Yeah, yeah, there is a
With white
bee on
pollen
there.
from the thistle.
And they do love thistle.
Yeah. Yay! Oh, sorry, little bee. Remind me not to grab any more thistles, okay?
Now, if we go that way, this apparently ends at the cornfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of like to go up under these oak trees and see if there's anything special that grows,
Why not, huh?
you know.
There are paths through here, so I guess other people have been here, or deer, or what, buffalo? So they didn't really know who owned it.
Yeah, like you said, that doctor.
Yeah.
That,
Right, the doctor that donated the land
For, all
for the
people that
cemetery.
died of
Cholera.
cholera.
Yeah. Cholera epidemic. And that was a problem. If you had a bunch of people that died all about in the same, you know, time space.
Did he give us a year on that? Was it like
Uh,
1880s or something?
Yeah, I think it was earlier than that.
Yeah. Was cholera one of those
It was a bad
diseases
disease.
that
You
the
could,
white settlers brought?
yeah, I don't think the natives had it, and it killed you pretty fast too. It just kind of dehydrated you quickly.
Is this a burrow?
Well, it's a different leaf, isn't it? It's either a black oak or a bur oak. Don't fall over. Oh, with that kind of leaf, yeah. That's a compass plant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's down to what they said, around 1,000 acres.
Oh gosh, no, it's not even that.
No, not even that. Oh dear. Well, it's the song. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Isn't that true? That is so
Yeah.
I wish the first settlers that had a GoPro stuck on their ball cap.
Yeah. No, they had
know what they were looking at.
We don't have any pictures of it, really,
No.
unless you could find some drawings or something. But
They were more concerned about finding water and
yeah,
place to land, camp for the night.
They were interested in getting through it, and then maybe getting a plow into it. Don't fall over. Don't fall over. I won't be able to pick you up. What do you think this is? Look at this ad.
I've been digging.
Look at this, Karen.
Ooh.
Now, what do you think that is?
Boy, that is, wow, it's like succulent.
Yeah. It's not, it's smooth. It's got a smooth, rubbery leaf.
I'm going to take a picture of it.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, it does look like a succulent. Here's another one. I don't see anything blooming here, but, huh. That's real different than everything else we're seeing around here. Well, they must have done some burning, because here's kind of a charred piece of wood. And it's just in that one area, it looks like.
Yeah.
Now this is this false Solomon seal, or is this real Solomon seal here? Am I identifying it right?
That's Solomon seal.
Solomon seal.
Yeah.
Okay, with the
Yeah,
berries.
they got nice little berries underneath.
Huh.
So maybe that's because of maybe that's a savanna species.
All right, this is where the Millers were buried. And let's see. Miller, it says 1839 to 1872. And Sarah, 1862 to 1863, just a baby. And then Frederick, another baby, 1865 to 1865. But a really big monument. And there were so many things that people died from back then. Not just cholera, it could be diphtheria, it could be measles. People died from things that we don't even think about anymore, like whooping cough. Or blood poisoning. It was really easy to get an infection, maybe in a cut you had or a scrape, and then you got blood poisoning and you died. Oh, here's another stone right down here. I didn't see it. This is a hard one to read. It's pretty old. Who died in 1918. 1887 to 1918. Ah, this was a veteran. Edward probably was in World War I and died of the flu. The flu epidemic was so bad. Oh, here, there's some more on the side here. It says William 1852, and then they don't have the death date, but I have to assume he's probably not alive anymore. And Maggie, 1860 to 1898, and Sally. Sally.
Did they have a last name?
Maybe it's on the other side. It says 1857 to 1932 for Sally, so she lived a long life anyway.
You know where we're going?
Well, head toward that small oak tree, maybe.
Yeah.
Look at that bumblebee. It's just going
Happy.
It's a happy bumblebee. It's having a really good time there. And here's the path we came in on. There's another sign there. I'll have to go over and read that and see what it says. Oh, it says it has a great variety of native grasses typical of the prairies, created in 1859, one of the first cemeteries in Ford County, and burials continued here until about 1914. Prairie grasses and wildflowers are a living tribute to the early European settlers who settled this area, reminding us of the landscape that greeted them. Well, that's neat, huh? It just said that this is a living tribute to the European settlers who settled here, what they, the landscape that greeted them. All right, Hellville Cemetery. Circa 1870s. Oh, there's some interesting, like a little sedge growing here. I didn't see it at the other prairie. Pretty fancy. All the what?
Lead plant and dog.
Lead plant? It's a beautiful old fence they put up around here. Quite, had a lot of ironwork on it. Their name was Livingston? Oh, okay. Yeah.
50th.
1877.
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah.
There's one here that's laying down. And there's another one with the...
No, there's several of them here. There's probably, might be more under here too. But here's a really old cedar tree, isn't it? Is there more writing on the other side?
I don't think so. Another stone.
Oh yeah, laying down there. I guess it toppled over, didn't it? That happened.
1891 to 1910.
Uh-huh. Well, there's the modern world knocking on our door. Yeah, there's more over here, but there is a lot of that lead plant, isn't
There's another.
Oh, there's another stone down there too. That'd be the kind of thing that I would fall over.
Yeah. To fall into.
Yeah. It would not be good. But again, they've got a lot of compass plant sticking up here.
And dock.
And dock, yeah. See if I can make it over here without falling over something. Here's Rebecca, wife of Samuel. She died in 1888. hard to read any of these stones, but what a beautiful spot they're in. Just back here on a gravel road. If you look on a map, this is just west of Rankin. R-A-N-K-I-N. Elizabeth, wife of Daniel. She was 28 when she died. Well, this pioneer life was hard on women. So many of them died in childbirth. Here's another one. Elizabeth died in 1879. And here's two stones. It might be children, but again, so weathered you really can't read anything on them. Pardon? Oh.
See, it's all in here.
Uh-huh.
What was wrong at the end of the first driveway when we let it grow.
Prairie dropsy.
Yeah. Heteropolis gravis.
The,
Something like that.
the Latin name, Heteropolis.
I think so. But I mean, it's all in here. So
Yeah.
it's like, gosh, what an arrangement
Yeah.
Mother Nature made.
Mother Nature is very good at landscaping.
I mean, it's got dog bane. That. Dropsy. And a lead plant.
Lots of lead plant. We'll never forget that name now.
I'm trying.
We'll always remember that now.
And dock.
Doc.
And the dock leaves are sticking up all over
Yeah.
the place. Yeah, I just really like this stuff. This is a nice grass to plant and a prairie planting in your yard.
That's
because
called,
it doesn't go,
oh, real high.
yeah, it doesn't go 6 feet tall.
And it's drop seed, you said?
Yeah.
Prairie drop seed?
Yes.
So this is part of it here, these leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not that one.
No?
That's I think that's Indian grass or something. But they got this dog bane. Dock and that stuff that looks like Spanish needle that you always see in the cemeteries. Except smaller. That's back there.
Yeah. The spiky plant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, the lead plant, they really have different leaves, don't they?
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
different. Yeah. Yeah, their strategy for survival on the prairie is very different than like something like the big compass plants and dock.
Their root probably goes deep.
I've seen pictures where they've dug up prairie plants, and sometimes those roots are amazing how far they go down. It could be 5-6 feet
Oh, farther.
and farther, yeah. Well, this is actually on a little knoll, isn't it? Because it kind of slants down there. And you said that they're trying to induce this prairie to go farther down in there, and
Added.
kind of a wettish, maybe it's a wet area.
Strange color. You know what this is?
Yeah, that's the indigo, right? Yeah. Although it's usually white blossom, spiky white blossom. not indigo like we think, you know, the rich blue color.
Rattlesnake master.
Well, a real
Everything is low. Surprising, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
everything is short. I mean, I've seen rattlesnake masters stick way up.
yeah.
And, yeah, these are just amazing. And they're so rubbery.
That's the indigo.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the spike on that. How big that gets.
And the seed head is so heavy, it's
Yeah.
pulling the whole plant over. But it's all around you.
Yeah, but that's his strategy, I suppose, right? Good way to
Mm-hmm.
spread the seeds. Fall over, lay on the ground. Was there ever a village of Pellville or something? Do you know?
It's next to the railroad. Yeah, that's the railroad there, I think. And Rankin is right there, where those trees
Okay.
are.
So where the trees are on the other side here, that's where the railroad was?
Uh-huh, it goes all the way to Paxton.
Okay, but it's not in use anymore.
No. There's been talk about making a rails to trails path down.
Well, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
But, you know, somehow those things don't ever quite fly.
That's too bad because they're really nice. A lot of
And
people.
there, you know, there's stuff growing next to the railroad
Yeah.
or on the railroad right away that is part and parcel to this beautiful Pioneer Cemetery.
Now this looks like peonies here.
Yeah.
So that was maybe planted when they
Graves.
buried somebody. Yeah. You don't usually think of peony as a prairie plant.
Yeah, but they're popular in cemeteries just because they bloom around May Day.
Yeah.
I just can't get over how low it is compared to Prospect Cemetery.
Yeah, everything's a lot lower here, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Tip the thigh area.
And it's kind of marked by these cedar trees. There's one ahead of us,
Yeah.
and then one over here behind us. They're slow growing, so they're probably pretty old. There's the compass plant. When their leaves get dry, they are just, the texture on these are wild. I really think there's something. Huh. Here's some more of that, like sedum that we saw in the other place. Or did you see it? See right here?
Yeah. Maybe by the time we get back home,
We'll know what it is.
it'll identify.
It's way down in there. Well, the leaves are almost like the
It's almost
the
like
docks. Yeah.
compass plant, but it's don't know.
Because these leaves are all compass plant, right?
Dock.
Dock, okay. And the narrower leaf is,
The split, like, well, I don't see compass plant right off the bat.
this is all dock, okay.
Oh, there's just hundreds and hundreds of dock and
Yeah, I know. They're very happy here, apparently.
they like to. I've seen them grow way up on top hillsides.
Oh, yeah?
You know, they just love it.
what are they on? What plant is that?
The stuff with the really scratchy leaves.
Yeah.
Really scratchy.
That kind of hug the stem.
Mm-hmm.
Like a,
And the leaves.
yeah.
But these blossoms are kind of wild, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yellow.
Yep. And tight.
Right.
Tight
Yeah.
little packages there.
And there's, that one blends right in.
Yep. You can hardly see it, could you?
But I was looking at that little bee that was yeah. I have to ask someone who might know why it's shorter. Because it's up.
And what I haven't seen are some of those plants like I've got at home where the cup plant. I haven't seen that down here.
No, when I found it growing on the farm, it was down by the creek.
Oh, really? So it's maybe like
A little wetter.
wetter? Of course, where mine is, it's on the hill. It's not wet at all.
Yeah.
But it seems to
Planted
be.
it.
Well, I put the seed there,
Mhm.
and eventually it came up where it wanted to. Like your son says, the plants will sort themselves out.
Self-select.
Well, another beautiful day of pure prairie. So now the big part is just don't fall in the ditch, Ezra. Don't fall in the ditch.
I found that stone hard.
Yes, it was. I couldn't really read it all. Things get weathered.
Yeah, that's
All right, that's Pellville. Pellville on the prairie.
Yeah, Pellsville or Pellville. I think there's an S in there.
Pellsville?
Pellsville.
Okay.